What up? This is a reply or a response to the Visual Expressions contest, which I've been oblivious to. Not a good thing, but big fan of you, Jordan, aka John the Rambler. So I figure I'm always late as hell, so I thought maybe I would sneak in my conscious entry, if you don't mind. So, typical, what's your favorite all-time movie? I have a few in mind, but I thought this time I'd try to do something a little bit different and say put a movie I probably didn't talk about yet, which is the original Ghostbusters 1984. This is not the Blu-ray, obviously. I had the original Blu-ray and I borrowed it to a friend, and yeah, I didn't get it back. But if you haven't noticed, the quality isn't that great, and I'm kind of tempted. Even I'm probably going to be duped for that 4K remastered version. I don't know how much of a difference it is. Maybe slightly. If that's the case, it's still worth it. So I'll probably pick that up within the next month or two. But anyway, Ghostbusters. This is one of the all-time great comedies. It has such a high rewatchable factor. I mean, the comedic vibe you get from, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, and let's face it, Bill Murray, makes this movie what it is. I mean, it's a collaboration, but without Bill Murray, the heart of the film, it wouldn't be what it is today. So it's not heavy on special effects. It's basically, all these guys comedic talents, and of course Ernie Hudson, and great direction by Ivan Reitman makes this a supreme film. I mean, some of it's kind of outdated, the special effects, of course, but we're not. I'm not watching it for that. I'm watching it for Bill Murray's why one word comedic talents. I mean, I can pretty much quote most of this film, and it also has a killer soundtrack too. But that's not gonna be my response to your second question. But this is actually this is a rare out of print DVD, by the way. The latest came out like in '99, so I got this on eBay a few years ago. And if you look for it now, it's probably like it's probably a higher price, but the special features pretty good. Um, I'm pretty big on good director's commentaries. You get to learn a little bit more about the film and the genesis of the project and how it came to be. And oddly enough, Eddie Murphy was approached by Dan Aykroyd. I guess this is when they were doing Trading Places, and I guess Eddie Murphy's dumbass didn't realize what a hit they had in there, and I think he didn't want to do it. But in his own right, which I'm going to transition to, was this mega hit, Beverly Hills Cop. And this is for question number two, as far as what movie has an awesome soundtrack that you like. And I'm a big '80s head, so I could think of tons of movies from that period, but one in particular is Beverly Hills Cop, 1984, Eddie Murphy. Um, it's already a great movie. I can go on and on about it, but pertaining to the question, it has a lot of that music from that time period, very electro, '80s synth pop. Of course, the iconic Axel Foley thing, which is dun 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 dun. Dun. I'm not gonna do all that. Then you got the Heat is On, which is if you watch Miami Heat games, they play that to death. But that's a whole nother story. And a couple other songs by the Pointer Sisters. I mean, all ten tracks on the soundtrack, I can listen to it over and over, and I have from the past many years. So I had the CD somewhere, but yeah. As far as a soundtrack for a movie, it's not instrumental. There's only one instrumental track, which is Axel Foley theme, but all nine of them great '80s songs. Like I said, everyone's a big fan. So, but for me, I enjoy it. Now you said, what three Blu-rays would you be willing to give up or trade? I don't buy too many Blu-rays that I wouldn't trade, but if I did, I probably would trade this one, Taken Two. Um, Now this is interesting. I don't do a lot of blind buys. I bought this at a blind buy. I mean, I love the original Taken. I thought it was, for what it was interesting. Kind of a surprise hit. And this one was just, I don't know, it was either too much of the same, or it's just like it felt kind of flat, and it was just like, okay, really, like, can this possibly happen? Really, again? So it made a tons load of money in the box office. So is it inevitable they're gonna make a sequel to this? And I mean, where could it possibly go? And I think even Liam Neeson has to realize, like, I'm gonna be taking it a little too far if I do Taken 3. So I mean, I'm saying to myself, I gotta, if I guess, to complete my collection, I have taken the Blu-ray. Now, hey, somebody wants this and wants to trade for the Taken original Blu-ray, the extended cut, then hey, we got a winner. Another one is, I didn't even open this up. I got this on Black Friday, like maybe, was it last year? It might have been last year. The Mechanic. I saw this in a movie theater, and at the time I thought it was pretty good. It was actually like a remake of a Charles Bronson movie by the same name. So it's not like big on plot. It's more of a simple kind of return to that simple action movie. Of course, it has some Jason Statham isms in there as far as the action is concerned. I mean, the movie is not terrible, but it's not great either. And it's not that I'm not a fan of Jason Statham, but it depends on what he's in that I might be really into. But like I said, I mean, if I had to trade it, I would. Believe me, I would. And last but certainly not least, I was at Blockbuster maybe like last year, and it was having like this big July 4th sale, and I was like, ooh, wow, Quantum of Solace. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I saw it at the movie theater, and I was like, eh. I mean, I've seen all the Daniel Craig, James Bond. I guess out of all three, this is probably the weakest one. And so, that being said, I probably would trade this. So, yeah, so that'll be Quantum of Solace, Mechanic, and Taken 2. So, awesome soundtrack to Beverly Hills Cop. If you haven't heard it, you can you can YouTube the Axel Foley theme or The Heat Is On by Glenn Frey. Porter Sisters. I have a few songs in there. I'm sure there's some that's posted on. And of course, an all-time great, never gets old. I mean, I'm a little worried if they do the third one, Ghostbusters. To me, Ghostbusters 3 is the video game that came out for PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, it pretty much includes all the original characters, pretty much looks the same way, and includes the voices of the original actors, including Bill Murray. So, for the fans, I guess if we never get a Ghostbusters 3, which maybe that's a good thing, that's close enough we're going to get. So, Visual Expression, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it. Thank you. Peace.